American R&B singer Horace Brown made his mark on the charts in the mid-90s, alongside many other popular male crooners, such as Keith Sweat, Blackstreet and Ginuwine. By the turn of the new millennium, though, his career had cooled off considerably, and people were left wondering if he would ever recapture his previous level of success again. Charlotte, North Carolina native Horace Brown Jr. grew up the son of a Baptist minister, so naturally singing in the church was a weekly event. Horace, though, never believed he would one day have a career as a singer. His big childhood dream was to be a professional basketball player, but a knee injury immediately squashed those plans. Nonetheless, as the old saying goes, when one door closes, another one opens. So when his hoop dreams ended, that just freed up more time for Horace to work on music. In addition to singing, Horace also played a couple of instruments, namely trombone and baritone saxophone, in his high school marching band. Other than the gospel music he heard in church, Horace was also encouraged by his older brother to explore different styles and genres of music, from the Gap Band to Genesis, Bobby Caldwell, and Stevie Wonder. Horace admits that he didn't even really think he could sing until other people started commenting on how good of a voice he had. It was then that he started wrapping his head around the idea of taking the craft more seriously. Things solidified after he recorded his first demo in New York City. It was such a profound experience for Horace that he actually shed tears. Things would really take off for him after a future major player in the industry heard one of his demos. It was Devontae Swing of R&B quartet Jodeci. Now, Jodeci wasn't even Jodeci at the time, but Devontae liked what he heard and asked Horace if he could swing by the studio one day. He came through with KC, JoJo, and Mr. Dalvin in tow and listened to some more of what Horace had to offer. The next thing Horace knew, he was getting flued out to LA to take advantage of some amazing opportunities to sing background for the likes of Christopher Williams, as well as writing and producing for duo Terry and Monica. Not long after, Horace would score his own deal with Uptown Records after head Andre Harrell, through another hookup courtesy of Devontae, saw him in a recording session. Right away, Horace got to work recording his debut album. His next move, though, would ruffle a lot of feathers. He caused some major controversy when his single, Taste Your Love, was released in 1994. It was an ode, so to speak, to an intimate act of the oral persuasion and was subsequently banned in certain parts of the South, specifically the Bible Belt region. Not surprisingly, it failed to perform well on the charts. Another single was released as a promo, but turned out to be a waste of time. Uptown upped and shelved Horace's album. Years later, Horace did allude to the fact that the reason may have been a case of Uptown's other artists, like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige, blowing up so quickly upon their release that resulted in the label not being interested in pushing his project. Many artists end up fading into the background after their albums fail to launch, and many more still after the person who believed in them from the beginning and they signed on with ends up leaving the label. Thankfully, this wouldn't be the case for Horace. When Andre Harrell left Uptown for Motown, he brought Horace with him. The label went into overdrive promoting him by first releasing what would go on to be his biggest hit, One for the Money, in 1996.
One for the money, two for the show.
It was followed up with Things We Do for Love, and then finally his self-titled debut album. The album featured appearances by several R&B and hip-hop artists like Sean Puffy Combs, Foxy Brown, and Jay-Z. A little-known fact about Horace and Puffy's connection is that before things took off for Horace at Motown, the music mogul made Horace an offer to join the family over at Bad Boy. The official final single released from the album was How Can We Stop, featuring Faith Evans. Several more songs did drop afterwards, but are only considered to be promotional singles. At the start of the new decade, Horace released the single Shake It Up in 2000 and followed that up with This Is the One with Styles P in 2001. Even though he's only released one album, Horace continues to write and produce alongside many other artists in the industry, such as Donnell Jones and Silk. Over the last several years, he's made Germany his main base, while enjoying a successful international touring career. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!